Greetings, everyone. I am grateful to be here with you today and introduce you to one of my new colleagues, friends, and partners. Shawn Fair is in the house with us today. Welcome, Shawn.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for having me on your platform. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
As am I. And I want to introduce you to my community and my followers because I don't know that they've met you yet. And let me just say, if you came upon this scroll or this video, pause because we're going to be dropping golden nuggets to support you in being the one that your ideal clients seek out, that they trust faster, choose sooner, and happily pay what you're worth. So, Shawn Fair is one of the speakers at the upcoming Be the One live experience that I'm hosting here in Fort Lauderdale, June 5 to 7. The reason that I've invited him is he is a global international speaker, award winner. He's got his own platforms and media outlets to make sure that each and every one of us are getting the visibility, credibility, and authority that has you become the one that is sought out in this marketplace. So let me just say, Shawn, I am grateful for us and all the different ways we're playing together to support other leaders and speakers to step up and get more of what they deserve and desire and the impact and income. So welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. The one thing that it's really has things, the one thing that I think about this relationship is, the synergy that I
Mhm.
believe that we have. And number two is that we are aligned, right? And it's about helping speakers and coaches really get to the level that they need to be at. And a lot of times they just don't have the information. And today we're going to give them a little information. And I know that you have something that they're going to be able to attend that's going to really help them get to the level they're looking to get to.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I'll put the link in the chat. In the meanwhile, go to BeTheOneLive.com. That's where you'll see everything that's going to be happening for you at the live event. I want us to start our conversation talking about alignment, right? You and I have had a few conversations. I was introduced to you by a trusted colleague, Luana Bradford. Thank you, Luana, for that. And we were able to move our relationship forward quickly because of alignment, trust, and credibility. And what I would ask of you is I see a lot of people posting a lot of content. They're struggling. They're putting a lot out there, doing like a little rat in a maze, just thinking they have to do so much stuff to get things to happen. And it's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
speak to that a little bit.
well, I like to take folks to the beginning. And the beginning of everything as a speaker is your message. And a lot of folks, they put a lot of weight on the message itself. And don't get me wrong, you should. But let me just say this, is that 10% of communication is verbal. That's it. So whatever comes out of my mouth, that's only 10% of communication. 40% is pitch, tone, and rate of speed. And that's why sometimes I'm on the stage, I talk really fast like this because of the engagement mechanism, and sometimes I slow down. It tends to bring people in. 50% of communication is body language, it's facial expression, it's hand gestures, it's eye contact. And all I'm trying to say to everyone is that 90% of communication is nonverbal. And
Mhm.
speakers that master the nonverbal communication skills on the stage are some of the best communicators in the world. As a matter of fact, your information, your content can be god awful. But if your nonverbal communication skills are tight, people thought they heard the best presentation of all time. And by the way, I'm not suggesting that anybody do anything like that. I'm just saying to you is that nonverbal communication skills are extremely important when you're on the stage, being able to engage an audience the entire time on the stage is a recipe of getting yourself to the
Mhm.
next level as a speaker.
Yeah, yeah. And I speak to some of clients and prospects or people who want to do more speaking, and they get up and they wing it.
Yeah.
and they end up rambling, and I'm sorry, I can't pay attention. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a basketball fan, and one of my favorite players in the world is Steph Curry. Steph Curry puts up 500 shots per day in the off season, and he establishes muscle memory. Well, as a speaker, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The more times I deliver my presentation, the better the presentation gets. And you'll find that the presentation is not always the same when you deliver the presentation over and over again. You start to put more comedic relief in it. You start to put more analogies in it. You start to create more points for your audience. It starts to develop over time the more times that you practice it. And
Mhm.
so I hear all the time, well, Sean, I'm a professional speaker. Well, I understand all that. Does that mean that you not continue to develop your craft? Does it mean that you can't get better? Right? So the reps are extremely important to
Yeah.
to really becoming the upper echelon of speakers because Nancy, you know this. There's a lot of great speakers out there. There's thousands of them. The question becomes what separates you and the message that you deliver that's delivered 1,000 times over by somebody else. What makes yours different?
Mhm. And I know that what one of the key ingredients is that your message that you're delivering is actually aligned with the vision and the impact that you're here to make. Because each of us, I know, has a personal assignment, why you're choosing to be a messenger, and what is that message. Your personal story, your experiences all make it that unique positioning just for you. And
Right.
I know one of the things you're a master at is working with people to make sure that their story is impactful, because we all know that, stories is what passes down communication. Stories inside of your presentations allows people to feel and see themselves in the scenario that you want to guide them through.
Absolutely. People can follow stories. It's easy to follow
Mhm.
someone when they're actually telling a story. But one of the most important things with telling a story is that you have to be authentic. The more
Mhm.
authentic you are on the stage, right, the better you are on the stage. So, in other words, if I know that there's thousands of people that speak on leadership, the question becomes, do I deliver the message in such a way that when they hear it, it sounds like they heard it for the first time?
Right.
The way that I deliver leadership is different than the way John Maxwell delivers leadership.
Mhm.
I thought through a different perspective to give to my audience. That is the thing that puts you in a position for other companies and organizations and associations to call you because your perspective is different.
Yeah. And now I want to segue into alignment. So when you've got that message, when you've got that perspective and that story, is it the common through line in your social media, in your blogs, in your articles? And when you nail it and you get totally into alignment, when you get called up to be interviewed on a TV show, when you get interviewed on a podcast, you're consistent, because that's another area where a lot of people, they're pulling at straws in so many different directions. Their consistency is lacking.
Yeah, that's such a phenomenal point, Nancy, because most speakers think that the only stage that they get on is a stage that has a mic on it, right? The fact of the matter is, Facebook is a stage, TikTok
Yeah.
is a stage, LinkedIn is a stage, Instagram is a stage, YouTube is a stage, Google is a stage. And so when I go to your personal pages, not your business page, because let me just tell you that when you're on the stage and people look you up, they're not going to your business page, they're going to your personal page. So when
Right.
I go to your personal page, do I see the very thing that you're communicating? Does it look like that on your page? In other words, they hear my voice speaking on my social media page. They see that I'm in the news saying some of the same things on the stage. They see I'm doing podcasts like this, what I'm doing with you, Nancy. They see that all through my social media feed. They're getting a constant dose of it on a regular basis. Let me tell you why this is so important. Because when you're consistent and you're aligned on your social media pages, here's what you'll find. is that the people that connect with you, you know why they're connecting with you when you're
Yeah.
consistent. If the only messaging I'm putting out, it's about taking your speaking game to the next level. That is my primary message. The people that send me friend requests, they're interested in speaking. And then as
Mhm.
I'm accepting those people, my suggested friends, guess what, who they are? They are people that generally are speaker or coaches or entrepreneurs. They are aligned with my message. It's a great
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, alignment and consistency with your core messaging saves you time. It saves you wondering, what should I post today? Like, let's just stay in the lane of your expertise and stop trying to be all things to all people, right?
Oh,
Nail your message, bring it home.
you couldn't have said it better myself. I couldn't have said it better myself. Because I get companies asking me all the time, right? Can
Mhm.
you do other presentation, communication presentations? Well, I can, right? But it won't match what I do when I deliver a leadership presentation.
Yeah.
Well, John, can you come and talk about the four different generations in today's marketplace? Well, I can, but it's not going to be at the same level that I deliver a leadership presentation. I always defer to someone I know that that's their primary topic
Mhm.
because I don't want to water myself down. I want to be the best of the best in the area that I know that I'm the best in.
My friends, do you see why I invited this amazing man to come and speak at Be the One Live and be part of your experience? So I know that your time is valuable. You're jumping on planes, going to the next event, the next podcast, the next client to serve. So I want to thank you for making time for us to be together today. And I can't wait to be with you, first of all, in person in June at the Be the One event. And then I've also put together another experience for us to hang out together online. And I'm calling that the One Room. So we're going to get together for 90 minutes online. And the goal is for you to show up and be the one for someone else and let other people be the one for you. So it's going to be phenomenal. And that's on May 7th. So keep an eye out for the post about that.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome opportunity. And after you explain the whole event to me, it is an event that you don't want to miss because anytime that you can get into the room and network with another network or multiple networks, like
Yeah,
you said it, right? It could be your next new client could be in that room.
absolutely.
The
Yeah,
next door that you need to open for you is because you walk through that particular door, right? The new person or the new company that you want to collaborate with could be in that room. And
yeah,
and networking is such a big key into building our business.
it is. It is. And to quote from one of my favorite musicals ever, you want to be in the room when it happens. So that's from Hamilton. I'm always going to drop in. If you look on my personal Facebook, you're going to see lots of music and theater. It's all part of what makes me uniquely me. So I want everyone out there, as Shawn was saying, as I'm talking about here, be uniquely you and be the one that your ideal clients recognize. When you nail your messaging and you show up consistently, oh, that's right. He's the one I want to hire. Oh, that's right. They're the one that knew exactly what I needed. That's what the goal is.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right. Shawn Fair, thank you for joining us today. You can check out Shawn more about Shawn Fair. And for Shawn's friends that I'm getting to meet through this Facebook Live, I look forward to connecting with you. Join us for the One Room on May 7th and then the live event on June 5th, 6th, and 7th. Anything final you want to drop in before we wrap today, Shawn?
I just want to say thank you for inviting me, Nancy. Was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to being a part of the event on May 7th, and then coming out to beautiful Orlando, Florida, for your amazing event. You have a wonderful platform and a wonderful network, and I just appreciate the fact that I have the opportunity to be a part of it. So thank you for that. And then the last thing is, if you can become 1% better every single day, 100 days from now, you'll be 100% better. Now, I know
Mm,
some of you guys are listening to that and say the math don't math, but you guys get the point, right? And so grow every single day. That's what we're talking about.
amen. I love it. Thank you so much, Shawn. Thank you, everybody, for dropping in. We will see you soon. Have an amazing day. Get out there and be the one.